Look at how effective Steph Curry is scoring in the fourth quarter. He's number 3 in the league in points scored on a per-minute basis in the fourth. This jumbled mess behind him is 300 NBA players and how many points per minute they score in each quarter. So as you can see, Steph scores progressively more and more on a per-minute basis as the game goes on. But let's consider some other players. First, here's Tyrese Maxey. You can see how he scores the most on a per-minute basis in the second and fourth quarters. And then let's bring in Paolo Banchero, and you can see how similar their profiles are. Paolo also sees a scoring bump per minute in the second and fourth quarters. And there's actually a lot of other guys who have somewhat similar profiles too, so instead let's consider some contrasting skill sets. For instance, here's Tyrese Halliburton. He scores by far the least in the first quarter, but then he gets more effective scoring throughout the rest of the game. My theory for this one is that Halliburton is looking to get his teammates involved at the beginning of the game, but then starts to take over more from a scoring perspective as the game goes on. But then let's contrast Halliburton with Victor Wembanyama. And he's kind of the opposite, most effective in the first quarter and less so throughout the second, third, and fourth. He's actually third in the NBA in points per minute in the first quarter. Now you might be wondering who some of these really high lines are. Well, unsurprisingly, they're some of the league's top scorers. For instance, Joel Embiid, when he was on the court this season, was scoring at an unprecedented rate, like over a point per minute throughout the game. That's insane. And then Luka Doncic is no slouch either. He scores about a point per minute or better throughout the first half, although he comes down to earth just slightly in the second half. And then here's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's the other guy way up here above the rest of the league. He's at his best in the second and fourth quarters, like Tyrese Maxey. Okay, but let's consider some more typical or average players. First, here's Aaron Gordon. Now, compared to those last guys, this might seem a bit underwhelming, but it's actually not that bad. He's just under half a point per minute, which is pretty normal. And again, these are just the top 300 players in the league anyways. Okay, but then here's Jordan Clarkson. And like Gordon, he's very consistent throughout the game, just over half a point per minute in every quarter. Next, here's the Timberwolves big man, Naz Reid. And like Wembanyama, Reid scores the most on a per-minute basis in the first quarter. He's impressively 10th in the entire NBA in points per minute in the first quarter. But then here's DeMar DeRozan, and once again he's kind of the opposite, at his least effective in the first quarter, but at his best in the fourth. Finally, here's two more guys. First, it's Jonathan Kuminga, and he fits into the SGA, Maxey, Banchero archetype, scoring the most per minute in the second and fourth quarters. But then here's Malik Monk, and contrary to all those other guys who are at their best in the second and fourth quarters, Monk is at his best in the first and third quarters. Alright, so that'll do it for now, but if you'd like to see any other players on this graph, let me know in the comments.